Hey, Nick.
Hey, Chase.
It's that time again.
What time is it?
Time for
Fuck This Place!
Shut up, guys. Shut up.
I look cool. This is good.
Yeah, you look good. I also dig that sweater you're wearing. You've been a Weezer fan for a long time now.
Dude, since I was before you were. Wait, no. Are we? How old are you? You're younger than I am.
I'm 34.
Yeah, but you're not Weezer young. You know what I mean? Like, first Weezer album was what, 93?
93, right? I think. Yeah.
Was their first album Pinkerton?
No, dude, it's a Blue album. Come on.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I've been a Weezer fan a long time, though.
Yeah. Since Pinkerton, you're one of those guys.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Pinkerton and only Pinkerton.
Uh-huh.
But
yeah, well, you look good. I mean, you're in front of like an actual personality. Nick, I'm in a white void. Nick is obviously at his actual doctor's office. He's a plant on one side and crutches on the other.
I should explain that normally I sit somewhere else where I also look like I'm in just a room, but I busted up my ankle playing basketball, and so I had to readjust to a spot where my foot can rest and not be dangling off of a chair. Yeah, I mean, it's elevated a little bit, but it's better than what it would have been in our normal setup. But I don't want anyone to know that happened, even though I just said it on our podcast.
I mean, I feel like it's important to show your vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
Did you call yourself the White Void, Chase? Is that what you called it?
Yeah, that's both my personality and the space that I'm in.
Oh, the space you're in. Sorry.
Yeah. But also, just as like a general MO for me, you could call me the White Void. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hey, that was deep, man.
A lot of things end up in it.
All right, Chase, you want intro? Sorry.
I mean, I guess we can. Why not?
Sorry.
Well, no, we're fine. We're doing great. Welcome to Fuck This Place, the podcast about jobs, among other things, with Chase and Nick. My name is Chase.
My name is Nick, and with us today, fantastic stand-up comic, inspirational speaker, cancer survivor, COVID survivor, harbinger of good vibes, just an all-around fantastic human being, one of the toughest guys on the planet, Mr. David Lew.
I'm writing that down. The harbinger. Say that again. Of good vibes.
Harbinger of good vibes.
Wow, I call myself the purveyor of positivity, but I like
harbinger because it implies you're actually bringing them to somebody else.
Harbinger. Wow. Sorry.
Purveyor means you're a collector.
Oh, you might have just fucked up my whole. All right.
Or upgraded your whole.
COVID survivor. That's so weird to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
That's the newest thing you survived.
When did you get it?
I got it. Let's see. I got tested. I got one of the fancy tests. So I was at the ER. Because when you have cancer and you have COVID, or they think you have COVID, they put a rush on it.
Yeah, that's fair. I'd make the same call.
What's August? So June 12th, I believe. I got tested, found out I had COVID. Thought that was hilarious. I was like, great. What else?
I also think it's pretty hilarious, but I'm also in the present.
I thought it was funny then. I just started laughing in the ER. I was like, really? I was told I had 6 months to live 8 months ago. Feeling pretty good. Now you're going to give me COVID. Fantastic.
Yeah. I've never met anyone that the world was more desperate to kill.
I'm so nice.
Yeah, you're the nicest guy.
I don't know why.
It's just like the world is Homer Simpson and you are Ned Flanders.
Howdy, neighbor. Yeah, no, I don't get it. I really don't. Like, they're just like, what else you got? My daughter was born January 16th. My dad died on New Year's Eve, like 15 days before my first kid was born. And then it was just lots of stuff. Still
not
happy.
Not the best lineup, you could say.
No, 2003 and on has been. So I had an easy life, though. I can't complain. I've known Nick since. I mean, I started doing stand-up in 2007. So at some point after that, and I had a pretty easy life. Like, I was doing pretty good. Went to the doctor once. Probably should have stepped that up. That because when I got to the doctor finally for the cancer, they're like, yeah, it's stage 4. There's no cure for it. We can just give you pills to make you comfortable, but really, yeah, that's it. So,
Fuck.
You've been in 2020 since 2003.
We're just catching up.
It's been 2020 for a long time for me.
God damn. Well, speaking of bad stuff, David, our first segment on every podcast is a segment we like to call "Fuck This Place?" where we decide if we work somewhere or not. But so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look at some Craigslist. This is the East Bay Craigslist. You're originally from sorry, what was
Fairfield.
Fairfield.
Yeah.
So
we have a Jelly Belly factory.
Yeah,
that's such good news. You know. So the way that this works, David, I'm going to read 3 job titles. You're going to pick the one you don't want to look at, and we'll look at the other 2. And then we'll take a look. Okay, so first job title is haul away old couches for $150. Second job title is super motivated, intelligent assistant needed. And the last job title is cook/host for 2-week cruise in paradise. Which one do you not want to click on?
Read that last one again.
Cook/host for 2-week cruise in paradise, or this assistant job, or hauling away couches for $150.
I am going to get rid of... Yeah, I got to get rid of the couches, though, because the assistant thing could have quite the description.
It could have some earning potential as well. Okay, so let's take a look at the assistant one first. So our title again is super motivated, intelligent assistant needed, and it's actually in Fairfield. So the post begins. No photos or anything. It says, "Please read this entire ad before you respond." Right away, you know this guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
Or this person.
Like I couldn't wait.
Yeah. Like and it doesn't matter. Here's the thing. How are you gonna? I understand you're saying that to like cut people off and be like, no, you really should be reading this. But also like, that's not. If you're a person who's not going to read the entire ad, this sentence isn't changing the game for you. You know
right.
what I mean?
That's not going to. Yeah.
Not a behavioral change here. Okay.
Yeah.
So please read this entire ad before you respond. I'm ready. When you do respond, please put in quotes, "Yes, I really am super motivated and intelligent" in the subject line.
Jesus.
I hate you.
Is Craigslist ad not a decent subject line?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's if you hit the reply button, I think automatically it's just the title of the post. Super motivated, intelligent assistant needed.
So you just have to take away the need. So they're giving you something to do. You have to take away needed and then go back to the front of the sentence and add "Yes,
Again,
I really am."
Yeah, again, this is you can tell this person not only is an asshole, but it's also stupid, because if you actually wanted someone to do that and you wanted them to read the entire ad, you would put this sentence at the bottom of the ad, correct?
Or they would say all they would do both of those things without you asking for it.
Yep.
Right.
You would say you're like, "Hey, I'm super motivated and I am intelligent. Thank you for adding that to the. Thank you for adding that. I am intelligent and I am super motivated." I'm so
glad you brought it up.
This person's older, I can tell.
Yeah, there's definitely that vibe. Definitely that like we'll read the post. "I am a successful realtor who can teach you how to sell real estate." What kind of real estate? Doesn't matter.
Realtor, capital R.
Realtor, capital R. That is true. It's very important to point out the subtle complexities of this person's character. Then it says, "One of the things I do is make cold calls in the mornings. I'd like you to help organize me and manage texts, calls, and emails so that I can make my calls 9 to 11 a.m. Tuesday through Thursday to start out."
They're old, for sure.
They're old. That is, I mean, again, I'm not in sales. That's 2 hours.
It's a long time to make
straight cold calls. Which, I mean, maybe that's what it quote unquote takes. It would be wonderful if you were super motivated to not only learn, but to help me grow my business. If you are working on getting your license, then this is the perfect place to start, because in 90 days, you'll be more educated than 90% of the competition just by listening to me.
Jesus. There's no way this guy's suit fits. Like it's just, there's no way. This is a gigantic suit this man wears that he looks like he's shrinking inside of.
Yeah, well, there's something weird about the shoulder pads. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's no, sir. No, sir, that does not fit.
The sleeves are like extra short, and then the actual shirt underneath is extra long. Yeah. Or he has that shirt like like that guy who did the ads back in the early 2000s, the like exclamation point guy. You know what I'm talking about? Who would like this late night, like I want to say, on like Spike TV and Comedy Central shit. And this guy's like, the government's giving away money for free, and he's wearing this like basically like a Joker suit, with glasses, but instead of question marks, it's exclamation point or
wasn't
dollar
like a
sign.
fisheye lens? Wasn't it like a fisheye lens?
It does. It does feel like a fisheye lens.
The money. We have
the money. Yeah. I mean, that was the era of Jackass. I felt like everything had a fisheye lens.
Everything had
point, but
I still have. I have a couple questions.
Please.
He said, or she.
It's got to be an old dude.
It's an old man. It has to be an old man. If you are working on getting your license, this is the perfect place, because in 90 days you will be more educated than 90% of just by listening to me. So he's definitely trying to push that he's very successful, right? Because he already capitalized the R. I feel like he should already have, if he's at that level, he should already have an assistant.
Sure.
Like he should already have all this laid out. So is he only looking like, is he that successful? He needs a Tuesday through Thursday, 9 to 11 a.m. assistant?
Oh, is there another assistant? Right.
And he has like a full time, like, oh no, he probably would have mentioned that.
No, you're not the second assistant. That's for darn sure. You're this person's first, I would guess, not ever, but first in a while.
First trying to get them on the internet. First one trying to get online.
Yeah. Okay.
He doesn't say anything about the assistant having a cold call, right?
No, and we're going to double back on that. Let's finish the post. Okay, it says you need no experience, just the desire to be successful. Then it says, yeah, sure. Tell me a little about yourself, and I'll explain more about what is required. And now let's just briefly check out the compensation over here. It says compensation. Tell me how much you would like to be paid per hour. Name your own price.
He's old.
Mm-hmm. And then employment type part-time, and that's it. That's the post.
I should have picked the couch one. I was expecting this one to be a wee bit more. Here's what you're hoping for. Let's go for it. I was hoping for an eccentric, in detail what you would be doing, and the details would be ridiculous. Because I feel like most people that look for an assistant on Craigslist I have a friend who I won't name, wanted someone to be their assistant for an entire month and said the compensation was $75.
Hell yeah. No, you're right. No, I think you're absolutely right that the Craigslist assistant is a world of delusion. Mm-hmm. more so than even normal Craigslist. Yeah. Because people don't understand what people are willing to do for you, especially if you aren't shit and you're not going to pay.
Right. Like he said, I hope you're hoping what she said? It would be wonderful if you're but help me grow my business. Why? Why would I be wanting to grow I'd like to get paid.
Correct. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the reason that assistants in like movies and like in real life too do unreasonable things is because they get paid. I'm not going to say a lot, but definitely more than tell me how you would like to be paid. Name your own price.
Yeah, and there's perks.
Perks like like you're working for someone famous or something. Again, I've never done it, but or it's just that like you go on trips or something. I don't know what the fucking perks are, but somebody has weighed it out and said like, well, I get to swim in their pool sometimes. This guy doesn't have a pool.
No
pool.
Well, his apartment complex might have a pool.
Yeah, that's a good point. No lifeguard, but they definitely have like a 3-foot deep end and a 6-foot deep end, and that is it. You're touching the bottom every time you jump in.
Full disclosure: if I had been able to see the title of the Craigslist ad, like seeing how it was typed out, I wouldn't have selected it. And I'm going to tell you why.
Please.
It's because, you're already going there. It's because super motivated, space, comma, space.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're absolutely right. The space around a comma is reserved only for psychopaths.
Yeah. No,
because it reads like it's like super motivated, slow down, intelligent.
Well, just if you're putting in a space after a word before a comma, that is an ancient methodology. No one ever taught it, but it's only done by old people for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's just typewriters. No idea.
Code for how they send each other secret messages.
Yeah, like I am 60 plus. I promise.
Well, I'm out. I'm gonna say fuck this place. This guy sounds like a nightmare to work with. I can't imagine it's anything but in the way of you walk in and there's like papers flying everywhere, you know, and it's your first day and he shouts at you from across his desk, "Where have you been?"
Yeah.
So
I'm seeing. I like closing my eyes to see this office, and I just see wood paneling.
Yeah, for sure. Wood, yeah, like that not real wood panel.
Yeah, and like an evil Wilford Brimley, or like maybe a Brian Dennehy, just like mean. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, no, fuck this place. I would not.
I'm gonna say fuck this place as well, and I know we didn't quite hit on this, but I am convinced this person is gonna make you do their cold calls.
Right?
For sure.
100%. Help me organize them.
Yeah,
like, or they hung up. They answered. Can I go eat now? Like what?
For sure. Or worse, he's gonna make you pump him up for it. You know, like I remember, I had a friend in 5th grade. He had an N64. I did not, and at the time, I'm pretty sure there was like Wave Racer and the Super Mario, Mario 64, whatever, Super Mario 64. It's a one-player game, Super Mario 64, and so we got tired of Wave Racer, and so we would just play Super Mario 64. But in actuality, it was just him playing Super Mario 64. And whenever he got to bosses, he'd be like, "Come on, man, I need encouragement, and like you got to cheer me on." And I had to this is Jake, this is me, I did it. This is the white void. I was like, "Yeah, dude, you got this. Get him." Anyway, that's what this guy is.
Your friend asked you to cheer him on?
Well, you could say.
How old were you guys?
I'm 34 now. So
how old were you? Yeah, when you
played at that point.
31.
And it was Nick.
Man, I was in
5th or 6th
fourth grade.
Oh, 4th grade. Yeah.
I was not in 6th grade because we stopped hanging out in 6th grade. It was 4th or 5th grade because I realized he's kind of sucked, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, for a while he had an N64, you know, so that was pretty important to me.
Yeah.
Also, he hated grape Skittles. And so he would finger the entire bag, and then he would just leave bagfuls and bagfuls. He was an only child, and I think his parents had enough money, obviously. And so he would have like like those like sharing sizes of like Skittles, but it would just be full of grape only. And I would just go to his place and I'd just fucking house him. Anyway, so there were some perks. I mean, they were covered in grubby fingers, but anyway, that's what this guy is. And so I already met him, and I don't want him. Post number 2. Coast/hook. Sorry.
What?
Hook. Oh my God.
Did you say coast/hook?
I said coast/hook. And this is why I think,
son of a bitch. I have
a running theory that I'm actually a lot more dyslexic than I thought I was. It's because of this podcast. We're learning a lot about Chase today. But anyway, the post reads, title is Cook/host for 2-week cruise in paradise. 3 exclamation points. Then it says it's in Tahiti/French Polynesia, which honestly, I know exists, like, you know, in theory, but I just never thought, I don't know, it just seems like, oh, that's real? Okay, good. There's not a lot of text here. The ad says, come sail with a small group of 4 in Tahiti. Your responsibilities will include meal prep, kitchen cleaning, and drinks! Exclamation point.
Drinks.
I anticipate there's going to be a lot of those. Lots of downtime, ... sun time, swim time, stargazing time.
All the times.
All the time, except for when I need you to refill the martini. Need to be comfortable on the water and be able to legally travel internationally. COVID test required to enter Tahiti. And that's the post.
That's it.
And the compensation, it says flight and board included plus per diem.
Wait, so no actual like we're gonna pay for you to get here?
I think now if you want to be extremely generous, which I don't think we should be, but if you want it to be, the per diem is your daily rate, right? I think that they're obviously not going to give you an hourly rate. But one thing that's extremely troubling is that it's 2 weeks. Like if your per diem, my guess is the per diem is like, $20, it's nothing.
Right. Per diem's like a side thing. It's
just like we don't really want to pay you is what a per diem is. And they pay for your flight. And of course the board, which is a boat that we know that you're working on. And yeah, that's it. That's what they're offering.
So I would be traveling alone to spend 2 weeks on a cruise with 4 people.
I don't know about a cruise.
Well, it says 2-week cruise.
It does say 2-week cruise in the post title, but it says immediately in the
Come
sail. So I'm pretty sure we are on a much smaller sailboat.
Yeah. Come sail with a small group of 4. So it sounds like downtime, sun time, possibly murder time. I don't.
They're definitely leaving that out of the stargazing.
I do not feel comfortable. Like it sounds. If I was 21 and I had no sense of safety, like like now looking back at doing stand up, like I can't think of how many cars I've gotten in random cities to smoke weed with crowd members.
Sure.
And I'm like, I could have been killed like so many times.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I've trusted everyone. And that's why I love this planet. Like I've never gotten fucked with ever. I've got offered cocaine.
Well, I would say that, again, there's a couple factors here. One of them you're a dude, but the other one is that you're going in general to share weed with somebody or someone's going to share weed with you. I would say that them as a demographic, people who are pitching weed are typically not going to do like, well, I brought you here for weed, but instead all I have is bath salts. But we're going to do that and we're going to find out which one of us eats each other first,
That's true.
If someone promises weed, it's probably going to be weed.
Yeah. I agree. Seems like a lot. If people have the money to fly you out from wherever the fuck ever to basically sail them around.
Yep.
To me, they're going to treat you like shit.
Yeah.
Because
especially if they're not going to pay you.
Yeah. They have disposable pay for a stranger to come to me money.
But not enough money to hire like a professional cook host.
They probably have a reputation from wherever they fucking
because they suck.
They localize, like it's just
they dock somewhere in Australia and they've asked everybody in that town.
Yeah.
Can we
not again?
And two people who work in local restaurants there have gone out and come back and been like, all they do is have fucking orgies, and I can't join. Number one. And number two, all they want is like they drink for 2 fucking weeks straight. So I am at a busy bar, no tips, nothing. And they almost threw me off the boat,
Yeah.
I don't see,
fucking
I would need
this all on your face.
Yeah, it would not be a good, it's a recipe. I see. What do you think? Is it two couples? Do you think?
Gotta be.
I think it's God.
4 white girls.
Do you think?
No, I think
they even hold it to the 4? That's the thing is they say that they say small group of 4, but the fact that they said small and group to me says
there's gonna be more.
We're building in some leeway here.
We're trying to lure you in by no. It's just a small group of 4. They're not even.
It just said
not even 5.
Group is very like you could just say 4 of like there's 4 of us. We're chartering this thing in Tahiti. we're all the same people every time, and I don't think that's necessarily true.
Yeah, I think that this okay, so what I think it is, it's not two couples, because if you have two women in there, there's a higher chance that someone is not a fucking idiot, right? So but it's also not four dudes, because four dudes
No.
wouldn't ask for help. They just
Right.
fucking do this themselves.
They would just bring
And
the
so-
alcohol. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is three dudes, one chick. That's what I think it is. And
Ooh.
and the chick probably convinced them, paired up with like the most like dandy of the four of the three men, and got to be like, we should get someone to help us, a professional or whatever. And then
Right, the me of the group.
yeah, and so
She paired up with the me who was like, I would prefer that someone cook me some ribs from
yeah,
time to time.
and so I think, but I think that this is also 100% a recipe for a mediocre horror movie, where
It's not even a good one.
Yeah. This is the girl survives, and honestly, maybe it's the outside guy they brought in because you're not a dumb fucking piece of shit.
Right.
The white boy.
Because they want you to cook people or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
But
they say it's just for four, and they bring like four other people, and like, what's up with these people? And they're like, well, we're gonna eat them.
Yeah. I'm out. I want no part of this.
No way.
No part of this.
The problem is there's not enough detail. Like,
Yeah.
like where are they from? Like,
Yeah.
it's
What's
posted.
going on?
It's posted in the East Bay, but like, they don't say anything about the East Bay, right?
No.
It's probably the airport. Yeah, they're just they linked it to the Oakland airport.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I don't understand. Needs to be comfortable on the water, in the water, travel legally. They have very minimal requirements.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only COVID test is to get into Tahiti. They're not
not
like,
to be
hey,
with
can
us.
make sure you don't have COVID
That's
when
not
you're hanging
that-
out
yeah.
with us. It's just,
Yeah.
it's like
I'm
this
almost-
dumb country.
Yeah, I'm almost waiting for a sorry after that.
Yeah.
I don't get. Yeah, that is not enough detail for me to even like. They don't even say let's meet up before. Because I'm committed to 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. Who's gonna sleep? Like, there's no meal prep, kitchen cleaning, and drinks. The drinks aren't for you though.
Nah,
No way. They're over trying to pay you in fucking stargazing time. Get out of here with this shit.
Yeah, at
like,
the end of the
like they're gonna stop me from doing it on my own.
You're on the clock. No looking
Yeah.
up.
that would be so funny. At the end of the 2 weeks, your only complaint was like, I didn't fucking stargaze.
I didn't see Orion's
I
belt.
saw stars, but I need to like look.
I didn't gaze. That's a fuck. I should have gone with the couches.
I mean, I don't think you would have been too impressed with them either. I'm gonna say fuck this place, and I would say not only do they have not enough details, but it's obvious they have no organization whatsoever.
None.
And I feel like if they were more organized, I would consider myself a sucker enough to consider this seriously if they provided enough detail of, like, for instance, we've done this at least one time before.
Yeah.
A picture
Anything.
of the boat.
Of the boat or just the ocean.
The ocean.
It's like, this is where we're gonna be. Have you seen it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Fuck this.
So we're
night.
gonna say just fuck this place. What's up, everybody?
What's going on, guys?
Wanted to remind you that you can text the podcast anytime you want.
Night or day, whenever the hell you want.
It's fine. It's the number is 470 bad jobs. The actual numbers are 470-223-5627. That's the number.
So yeah, anytime you want. Like I said, middle of the night, whenever. We don't got jobs right now. Whatever's going on with you is going on with us.
I mean, absolutely. Maybe you still have a job and it's like shitty. You can tell us about that. Maybe you don't have a job and it was shitty before.
Maybe you're getting one of those weird temperature forehead checks right now.
For sure.
And you want to pull out your phone and just say, you know what, fuck you guys. I'm going to text 470 bad jobs.
470-223-5627 is the number. That is the number. And you can also call us if you want, but I mean, whatever. It's your choice. That's the point here.
David Lew, what's the first job you ever had?
My very first job where I had an actual tax form I had to fill out was 1999. I worked at Edwards Cinemas in Fairfield. I was a usher. and Ticket Taker and Box Office Guy and Sessionists.
Mhm.
So that was 1999. I'll never forget because 1999, arguably one of the better years for cinema.
True.
So we opened in May of '99, which obviously was the Phantom Menace release. So we grand opened. I guess I should have said that. It was closed. They were hiring for a new movie theater they were building. So it used to be a Sears. They took it down, and then they put a sign up saying, coming soon, Edward Cinema 16. And before that, the most screens we had was 8. So this was the first time I'd ever seen. I'd ever seen. Now we see them all the time.
Yeah.
Now they're like AMC 20 fuck screens. Like it's not that exciting anymore.
But this was like the big city was coming to town.
Yeah. I was like, I wonder how long it's gonna take for us to fuck this up. Cool. And that was awesome. I remember being so hyped. You guys are gonna find out. I have never worked a job I didn't want to work. So I've always only worked at places I wanted to work at.
Gotcha.
Wow.
And I've been very lucky to just work at places that I wanted to do. So movies are like my obsession. My degree is in film and media studies. And watching free movies, like the whole experience of opening a movie theater was amazing at 16 years old. I was 15 when I got hired and then turned 16. So, and my girlfriend at the time worked with me. We both applied at the same time. So that's where I learned also you don't work with your girlfriend.
Wow.
Yeah. Good.
Sure.
An important lesson.
Yeah, and you got out early. Yeah.
Actually, I ended up doing it with 2 more jobs.
Okay.
But different girl. So I feel like
you're like, this time will be different.
Right. And then the nice thing was having my girlfriend there, we could take 10-minute breaks. And I remember going into a movie theater with my girlfriend and doing boyfriend-girlfriend get-down stuff in an empty theater on a Tuesday.
Right.
The film was a nice little classic called Arlington Road, starring the very famous Jeff Bridges, I believe. And,
you're like, I don't know, I wasn't watching.
I could be wrong. So that was my first job. Was that supposed to be that long of an answer? Sorry.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
It's cool. It kind of had everything.
This is just one long answer to
I didn't know if there was like you take a test and it's like, where did you work? And there's a line. Like I feel like that was your question, and then I had the line, and then I flipped the page over.
Yeah, the line doesn't imply you can talk about finger banging your girlfriend in Arlington Road. So for sure, but we are in more of a forum.
You just write that on like you're applying to like a subway. Like, well, Jeff Bridges, 10 minutes at a time. Anyway,
where will I be able to finger bang my girlfriend while working here?
At this subway. Yeah.
So you got the job initially. I mean, because you really wanted it, obviously. I mean, you're just like this.
Yeah. So when growing up, my mom is super strict. She was super strict with me growing up. I couldn't go out. Like once I got home from school, I stayed home, couldn't go out. When I was younger, she would let me go like maybe we lived in the court. So she would let me be in front of the house, like in the court, but that was it. So I got tired of being stuck at my house. So I was like, oh shit, if I get a job, she can't say no to me, like not leaving the house. So that was just for me to be able to just live my life and be around friends, because I would only see my friends from school time, so 8 to 3.
Right.
So I that's why I was so outgoing, and I was just so energetic at school. I was like, I need to make an impression now because they're not going to see me after this.
Yeah. This is it.
Hey David, do you want to? Right. Yeah. And then they're like, hey David, you want to go to? No, I can't. You want to go to a birthday? No, can't. So I couldn't even have I couldn't go to sleepovers. Like my friends would be like, "Hey, we're gonna play video games all night." But my mom would always be like, "No, let him come over here. Why not have a sleepover over here?" I was like, "Mom, it's his birthday. Like I'm not trying to host a birthday at my fucking." I was so stressful.
Yeah.
So getting out and having a job was like my first time being independent, and getting out of from under the thumb of my mother, I guess.
Yes.
And so that's
You got to have better than sleepovers in that Jeff Bridges movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, good times. And then we broke up, and then it wasn't.
She didn't want to hook up anymore.
Well, yeah, because we were both. Yeah, she did not want to meet in Arlington Road. So we would cross. It was the theater had, most theaters have a long hallway where you have to get to the next side of the screen. Mm-hmm. So we would be ushers, and mind you, our uniform was black shoes, black slacks, white dress shirt, long sleeve or short sleeve, button up dress shirt, white with a black bow tie.
Mm.
So those are uniforms for the men and the women. So it would just be us as ushers holding the sweeper and the trash or the dustbin that you like, that handheld one that you just like sweep all the garbage in, and we would just pass each other, and it would be super awkward.
Right, because you have like probably a whole minute and 30 seconds, depending on where you start on this hallway, knowing that you're going to pass each other.
Right, and she's with a group of girls, like their cleanup crew, and then we're going to another theater to clean up, and then I hear someone be like, "Man, that asshole!" I was like, and then my friends would be like,
and it is deathly silent in there. So if anybody says a word,
yeah, you hear.
It's not a space where anybody hangs out, that hallway.
And so nobody kicked it in the hallway except for people who were waiting in line, because that's what we used to do back then. We didn't have the seating arrangements that we have now.
Right. I remember waiting in line in like a hallway.
That was the shit. I made my dad wait in line for 2 hours while I was at school to buy tickets for Phantom Menace.
Damn.
Good man. And then I made him stand in line, I don't know for how long, the day of the release, so we could actually get decent seats. So, wow. And then he didn't. Right. He didn't watch the movie.
I think I made my dad stand in line for Jackass 2.
Yeah, and they're like, there wasn't a line for that. Chase just made his dad go there 2 hours.
And
early.
Jurassic Park 2, I want to say.
There was a line for that, for sure. I remember the lines because all my best memories for the most part are like in the movie theater from growing up, like Jurassic Park. Ace Ventura, that took a steep drop as far as
yeah.
But I just remember these, like I still remember like walking in and seeing the poster and then going in and being like, oh my God, this is amazing. And so that's why
it's funny that like so much of your life is in the movies, because like you're not allowed to go anywhere but
stay
the
home.
Movies. Yeah. So it's like you have all like your first job, your first sexual experiences, like just hang out times with your dad. It's all like at movies.
The first time you ever did taxes. Like.
And it was all in 1999 to like 2001. So like I remember my first breakup was during The Haunting, starring Catherine Zeta-Jones.
No.
And Owen Wilson. Oh wow. And then I have a lot of the first time I saw my friends, this is all I'm going to say about it because I don't want to talk about anyone.
Sure.
First time I saw that my friends were stealing money from the like cash registers, it was The Mummy was playing.
Oh, man, I just watched The Mummy the other day.
And the Thomas Crown Affair were playing right next to that. I should say.
Man, you uncovered a corruption scheme.
Yeah, I said nothing though because I'm not a snitch, so kept it to myself.
Yeah.
But you're right. Yeah, a lot of my what do you call the like life highlights happened.
Like you learned how to read and write in the movies.
I learned what weed smelled like at the movie theater.
Right.
Wow. I didn't know what weed smelled like. Next Friday was the movie that came out.
Wow, what a like perfect cultural markers.
It was great. I loved it. I remember letting people. My favorite. I'm not a dick by any means. Some people will tell you probably that girl that I dated would call me a dick. Maybe. Well, we ended up being friends like years later. But I remember the biggest dick move I ever pulled was The Sixth Sense came out in '99 also.
Yeah.
So that was like huge.
Big spoiler in that one.
Whew, speaking of. So they re-released it for the Oscars, like Oscar run. So like it released in, I want to say May-ish.
Yeah, it was a spring movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like the beginning of those blockbuster run.
Right. So then they re-released it like wintertime. So during the re-release, I would go up in projection, and this is back when we had projectors.
Oh man,
miss those. And so now they just have hard drives, which is just really weird. So I remember one day they were asking me, like, we had all walkie-talkies, and my manager was like, "Hey, can you turn on the air conditioning in Theater 15?" And I was like, "Yeah." So went upstairs, turned it on, and I opened the window. You know, they have that little box, the little projector window.
Yeah.
Popped it open. I said, "Hey guys, just so you know, it's going to be a couple minutes, but I did turn on the air conditioning." And then they turned around and I was like, "It is really hot in here." I was like, "I'm sorry, it's just going to take a while." So then I went and did some other stuff, came back. These people were in the theater early. This is like the people that read the fun facts.
Yeah.
And the car dealership advertisements.
Yeah.
And so I walked, and then I got another call on the walkie saying, "Hey, are you sure you turned on the air conditioning?" I said, "Yeah, I turned on there." So I went back and I did this maybe 3 times. And so then I didn't open the window, but they saw me in the window and I could see them yelling at me.
Yeah.
They were cussing me out. They were like, "What the fuck? Turn the fucking air conditioning on." So I was like, "It's a big fucking room. It's going to take time." By the way, he was dead the entire movie.
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I walked away, and I've never been more proud. And then they all got their money back.
Yeah, I bet.
So
That's there are definitely some movies where you can like really spoil it in just like 10 words or less. But if like that one's like really one of the top ones where it's like, you can really ruin this whole movie with just a few words.
Very juicy. Yeah. It was awesome. I would never have done it. Period. I would never have thought to do that if they weren't being like that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And also,
if they weren't so hot, yeah.
Also, the movie been out for quite some time at that
That's
point.
what I'm.
Release day. This is like Oscar season. You're reviewing this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're watching it again to check out the clues, like how you knew he was dead. Blah, blah, blah. So I didn't feel as awful like if I did it opening weekend. Like I would never have done that.
If you did at the premiere, yeah.
Yeah, no, I would never do that. But the premiere, the premieres were the best working at the movie theater back then because like we got to see sneak previews of like American Pie. And we were the perfect age for it. I was 16.
Yeah.
I remember and watching it back now and the way our culture is now, it's a little weird to watch it now. Like it's like this is really kind of, now I know what the female gaze is and the male gaze, and I'm like studied stuff. Yeah, I was like, oh damn, this movie, yeah.
Yeah, that guy probably shouldn't have had sex with that pie.
Yeah, lots of yeah, I didn't think that when I was 16.
Like, it does not feel like a fucking pie. Said that.
Yeah,
it's
it's
premise
weird.
of the whole movie. It's the premise of the whole movie is that sex feels like pie.
Yeah, it's weird to look back on that now.
Yeah. Back then, though, it was fine.
I was taking notes.
Yeah, I was like, okay, Apple, got it. But I remember like the camaraderie in that room for watching that movie because it was open to the public, but it was 2 weeks before it came out. So there was a lot of just teenage guys that were like dying to see this movie.
Yeah.
And this was Shannon Elizabeth, Nadia, the whole thing.
Yeah, smoking.
Yeah, the guy next to me I didn't know, and I was like shouldering him. I'm like, "This is awesome." He's like, "I know, this is awesome."
Yeah.
And we're like,
you're just like your hand was chapped from all the high fives.
Oh, we were high five. It was hilarious. Like,
yeah,
they were running I can't remember his name in the movie, but Jason Biggs was running to his house when Nadia was in his room, and he's running. The theater was cheering and like, go, go, go! Like it was, it was crazy.
Oh man,
that was one of the best screenings of a movie I've seen.
Yeah,
man,
that is an awesome memory, and it is one that there's no way that ever happens now. Just for the sheer fact that you can't get more than 10 people in a room without them trying to fucking kill each other.
Yeah, that too.
And they're all on their phones on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like no 16-year-olds are going to pay attention to anyone else in the theater.
Yeah.
And that's even without the COVID and like all this it's great. Yeah. I miss those the before times.
Mhm.
That was my first job.
I worked in a my first job was also in a movie theater, and
Really?
so I know exactly how you feel. Yeah, I was at the Lodi Stadium 12.
Oh.
But those sneak previews, like I remember just fucking eating shit for sleep, just because like I watched the last Lord of the Rings because I wanted to be the first at my school the next day to do it, you know, and just and it like it was worth it for like 20 minutes. But like after second period, I was like, God damn, I'm tired.
What time did you start the movie? Do you remember?
We couldn't start it till legally it was the next day, so midnight, like 12:01.
We had. I wish I had a cooler movie to connect this memory to. I fell asleep at the wheel. I almost died. I fell asleep at the wheel, and it was after work, after the movie theater. This is actually not my first job. I worked at another movie theater after this, and the movie was Enemy at the Gates. With Enemy at the Gates with Jude Law. Like not even
a good movie.
Not even Enemy of the State.
Yeah, not even Enemy of the State.
Yeah, it would have been awesome if it was
Will Smith movie. That's fine.
Yeah.
Will Smith was hilarious. Like it was, and no, it was Enemy at the Gates, and then we didn't start the movie till 2 because we had to do other stuff and clean and blah blah blah. Fuck. So then my girlfriend at the time, who was working with me, was like, put your seatbelt on before you leave. And I was like, all right, what? I wasn't a big fan of putting my seatbelt on back. I don't know why. Just whatever. So I put my seatbelt on and then I left. And on my way home, I fell asleep and knocked a light pole off of its.
Fuck.
Damn.
Yeah.
The cops pull you up? Like the cops show up? Or
cops showed up. Yeah, the cops showed up. And this guy, first thing that happened is I remember driving and if I'm going to paint a picture, I got to be honest. So my girlfriend at the time was really big into the Backstreet Boys. Sure. I like the Backstreet Boys, obviously, boy band trivia. This doesn't come out until after that episode, but davidlew.net /trivia hour. We were listening to the Backstreet Boys on the way to home. And this was back in Napster, LimeWire, Groove Shark, I was getting like the underground Backstreet Boy shit. Like I was getting the European releases, So I had a whole bunch of acapellas. So I was listening to Backstreet Boy acapella at 4 in the morning on my way home. And I'm going to hate hearing this back. 4 in the morning, and my eyes were closed and I could hear the acapella and I heard the trees, but I couldn't do anything because I was tired. So I heard the trees hitting the side of my car, but my body wasn't responding. And then I don't remember hitting it, but I just bam. And then like I came to, and the windshield was shattered. I couldn't open the driver's side then the window was shattered here. And I just like to my left, like on the left side, and I was just freaking out. And I got out of the car as soon as I could, and I just sat there and looked at it, and the whole front end was lined up with my windshield. Like I had just completely destroyed this car. And the first truck that pulled up was like it was some type of construction. Like they had like a manly ass truck. Like they had ladders and shit in the back. And he asked me, he's like, "Hey, are you drunk?" And I was like, no, I just fell asleep. He's like, "All right, you cool if I call the cops, man, to help you out?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's cool." And so he called the cops, and then before they came, I realized I was going to have to call my parents. So the first thing I did was I ran back into my car and grabbed all the condoms from the center console, and I threw them out as if they were going to I don't know.
Yeah,
that was literally the only thing I was concerned about.
So I thought you were going to say I turned down tearing up my heart when I'm with you or whatever. Oh man, so yeah, what's crazy is you didn't even have to tell us that Backstreet Boys stuff.
You knew.
Well, I just mean that just like, oh man, so okay, so you go in, you throw out your condoms, and then
turn up. I want it that way.
Yeah.
Acapella.
Yeah. Acapella. That is and so then what happens? So the cops show up and they're like, okay. Here's the thing is it's like they might have thought you were kind of cool to have condoms, but it's just like but you like double back on like, no, I listen to this boy band, and then also I don't
And
have
I
sex.
am a virgin. I
There's
have to
nothing-
assure you.
Yeah. You're like, I threw the cigarettes away, threw anything out that might make me look cool.
All of it. I threw it away. I kept my Pikachu doll on the window. I had my truck was yellow, so I literally had a Pikachu window decal thing that someone gave me.
Yeah, man.
So I kept all the stuff that did not make me cool.
Cops pulled up just the loseriest truck of all time.
If that truck hadn't been like 6 months old and new and not, then I would have.
Mm-hmm. They're like, yeah, we were told a 14-year-old girl was in a car accident.
Who's in chorus? Like you listen to acapella stuff. Like you are a chorus nerd.
Yeah,
Sir,
the cops are all, I'll say the cops are all like, they're all like, hey man, I get it. Like I was scared, man. I got a daughter. I know how it is.
Yeah, sir. Where's the female that was the passenger right now? Where is she?
Where's the girl? They're shaking you. Where's the girl? Where's the girl?
Oh my! Yeah, no, it's embarrassing.
Cop
Yeah,
comes
no,
back,
There's no
he's just
condom. There's no condoms in here. He's never met one.
Yeah, or then the other cop comes back and says, I found a bunch of condoms. They're like, you sick fuck. Where's the girl?
Okay, yeah.
is this how you lure them in with all these burned Backstreet Boys CDs?
You're just like, no, I just fell asleep while I was watching Enemy at the Gate. They're like, no one watched that movie, you fucking liar.
Jude fucking Law?
It's not even out yet.
Comes out tomorrow, you fucking
Have
liar.
you seen Enemy of the State? That was good.
Oh,
It was all bad, man. Would you believe people thought I was gay growing up? I just don't. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I believe that. Oh, okay, so, all right, Dave. So that was your first job. What's the worst job you've ever had?
The worst job I actually worked for was probably Albertsons. Now that I'm
Hell
thinking, I was a bag boy, and I did not like that. I liked being. I was 17. I had to be 17. So, 17. I met my other girlfriend there. It was an awful job because they make you only do bag boy things. I didn't know this. You can help dairy. Don't go to dairy. Steve, he's a dairy. That's his contract.
Yeah.
Don't go over there. Like, don't go to produce. Larry is all. That's his. And so
that's Larry Land.
Yeah, and I couldn't do anything. I had to clean the conveyor belt. Like I had to spray down the conveyor belt, clean the cigarette machine. That was 1985.
Step right up.
The cigarette case and all. It was just an awful. Like the things I had to do were awful, but the people were good. Like it was fun to work there, but the things you had to do was just monotonous. And so I was only there for about 90 days because they said they weren't going to bring me on. I didn't pass the probationary period.
They were just like, yeah, we fucking hate you too.
Yeah, they were not happy with me. So then I got another job.
He was like, they're like, yeah, Steve and Dairy hates you, Larry and Produce hates you.
You keep fucking walking over there.
Yeah. Kim and Floral can't stand you.
Oh my God. Yeah, I was a men's only Safeway that I worked, or Albertsons that I worked at. It was
Daryl and Frozen? Fucking hates your guts.
I kept handing him pizzas, and he was like, "That's not how you do it." And I was like, I'm done, bro. And then I fell on the job.
Oh.
It was raining. That's what I remember when I took a turn. I was like, I can't do this.
You're like, I was on the roof helping the roof team at the time.
We were running out of tar, and I was like, I'll go make a run.
I'll go get it. I'll get tar. I had just taken a cart out to. I was collecting carts, and then I was on my way back. And you know those arrows on the ground in parking lots where it's like, hey, traffic goes this way.
Yeah. It's like those white paint. Very slippery.
I didn't know that. So it was raining, and I don't believe I was running. I believe I was just taking a brisk walk and ate it super hard.
Yeah.
And landed on my dome. Did not feel good. And they said, yeah, go to the back, take 10 minutes. I was like, I'm going home. Thank you. No, I'm going home because I'm going to the ER because I don't feel good. Like, this is not, I can't see straight. They're like, are you sure you really think you need to go? I was like, I'm dizzy. Like, what do you want?
I hit my head on the ground. Like,
they made me go wait.
It doesn't take a lot.
It does. Yeah, they made me go sit in the break room, which wasn't a break room. The break room that they called a break room was the back of the storage. Like, well, you've worked at supermarkets.
Yeah.
So you know the back area where you go through those plastic, whatever those.
Yeah,
you walk through.
Where they hide the bathrooms.
Yeah.
And just to the left, next to pallets, they put a table and 3 chairs.
Yeah.
And we're just next to shit. So then you're just
like there. Expired bread that they're like, yeah, this is for the employees.
Yeah, it's half off.
Yeah.
So that's why
they don't even give it to you for free.
Yeah, so that was probably the worst job I actually had to check, and like that was by far. Yeah. But everything else, I worked at Quiznos. That was probably one of my favorite jobs.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, maybe touch on that real quick, but I did want to say that you had an idea for a podcast for a while called Quiznos What Happened. And, and I think that's still one of my favorite titles for anything ever.
Just a deep dive into what happened when Subway got their own toaster things.
It'll probably get blurry, but that's what this is right here. It's really small handwriting. But
this is the beginning of your Netflix documentary about Quiznos What Happened?
Quiznos What Happened. It's Spotify. No, it's exclusive on Spotify.
Got it.
Yeah, you're pairing with Unsolved Mysteries.
6 episodes. Bam, in and out. Because Quiznos, by and large, have these superior sandwiches.
You're absolutely right.
Not past tense. Continue to this day.
I would agree with you.
They're probably better now than they were back then. Because I still go to Quiznos. I still find Quiznos and I go to them and I talk to all the owners.
Do you wear a long trench coat when you do? Like smoke a cigarette?
I was like
sleuthing about?
Tell me about the last 5 years. Yeah, it's been hard. It's been hard. And it started because I was doing shows in Redmond, Washington, and me and Miles Weber, comedian Miles Weber, we were doing shows up there, and that was a story in of itself, that town. But we found a Quiznos, and Miles, for listeners that don't know, Miles Weber is a very health-centric person, and he does not eat carbs. That's not he allows himself a certain amount of grams. And I don't do that. So I said, Miles, will you please cheat and let me eat Quiznos? Like, will you go with me and eat Quiznos? He was like, yeah, man, I'll go with you.
That is very much how Miles sounds. That is a good Miles.
So we went to Quiznos, and there was a guy in the back, late 50s. Yeah, about 50 years old, mustache, solid. And one, 17-year-old white girl that worked with him. And so I walked in. And by the way, at its peak, Quiznos had 1, 2, 3 people make your sandwich, if you remember. And then they had a 4th person ring you up. They were killing it. They were like, we don't care about payroll. So now it's literally one person doing everything. And then they make the sandwich, they do and then they ring you up with the gloves on. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, just get mayonnaise all over the register.
And then I'm an asshole, and I'm like, would you mind taking your gloves off while you, because you just handled my, it's just weird. So I asked this guy, I'm like, are you the owner? And he's like, yep. And I was like, man, how long have you owned this thing? He's like, man, I think he said 15 years. And I was like, nice. He's like, yeah. And then he went on to tell me the story. He had 8 Quiznos at one point. He owned 8 of them.
That's a high percentage of them in the world.
That's a lot of Quiznos.
Not at its peak. In Fairfield, we had 4 at one point.
Look, I'm not disrespecting Quiznos.
You are. Listen.
I'm just saying. All right.
I had 4 in my city at one point. The next town over had 4. We had 8 within a 9-mile radius. Not his 8, but another 8.
Someone else's 8.
And then, obviously now, not so much. So listening to his story and how he went from 8, then he sold 1. It wasn't going too hot. And then he sold it. Got all the way down to 1. So now he has 1 that he works at open and close. And he has 2 employees.
Man, this guy's life is ruined.
Ruined.
Do you think that he was part of a guild that also had another guy who had 8 and another guy who had 8, and there was a pact?
Like the Guild of 8?
Yeah, yeah, and it's just like, oh, the Quiznos 8. They each had 8 Quiznos.
The Quiznos 8. I like the sound of that. That actually,
he's got a big scar across his face from the war, the sandwich war.
Well, what they do is they
I
press.
burned it on a Subway grill.
I'm glad you. Yeah, they actually press your face against the corner of the grill of the toaster, and that's how you get that scar.
He's got like 1/8 of a medallion, and he's hoping to like link back up with the other 7
that only have one each, and
Yeah,
so they
yeah.
can build their own guild again. It's sad,
He's
man.
got
Like,
no powers.
don't you feel like if you owned 8 of a restaurant, you would think you're set for life?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. I mean, maybe.
I would. I
After
would.
this story.
I mean, you know, yes. I'm tiptoeing around here a little bit, but also you didn't diversify for shit. You're like,
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna own 8 Quiznos only. You don't want to throw a Taco Bell in there.
Yeah, but you wouldn't say that to people who own 8 Subways. Like, you'd be like, you're set.
Well, but there's 2 reasons I think why, you know, I'm sure maybe you're going to get into this, but I think there's 2 reasons why Subway has prospered over Quiznos.
Yeah, I've thought about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
My reasons are, 1, the grill, obviously.
I think that Quiznos started the grill.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. But
Are you saying-
Subway,
Oh, you're saying because Subway copied it.
yeah, Subway was like
Oh,
the
okay.
number one thing everyone loves about Quiznos is the subs are toasted.
was
They
like
have
a cooked
they have us
sandwich.
beat
Yeah.
like a motherfucker, and they changed their contract. They were Pepsi, right? They changed their contract to Coke or vice versa. I can't remember. And the deal was, I thought, my understanding of the deal was that when they contracted with the new soda people, they would be getting grills because of it, or toasters, whatever. So that's number 1. And then number 2, and this is my dad's favorite fact of all time, that it's like cocktail party fact that it bugs the shit out of me because it's not that interesting of a fact. But Subway has more locations of any fast food chain in the world, even more so than McDonald's, because they paired up with gas stations. So it's not that they're freestanding, but they're just like, boop, 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 boop. All of the like gas station delis that we used to go to are now just fucking Subways.
Yeah, that's true.
They
And
gamed it.
also at its peak, though, Quiznos was also linked up with gas stations. I remember gas stations having Quiznos in them. I think so. Those definitely play a part. The toasting definitely, when people could get toasted sandwiches at Subway, I think that played a part in it. But this is not funny anymore. It's just me being. It's so funny.
Yeah, old detective over here.
I would say, yeah, the toasting definitely played a part because those people that like Subway now will stick to it even more because they have no reason to go to Quiznos. And also the people who kind of liked Quiznos, but it was mainly the toasted thing, and now they can just stay at Subway, get a $5 footlong. And I mean, you can't not mention the $5 footlong.
You cannot, nor can you not mention Jared Fogle.
Or Jared.
Yeah.
And I think Jared, I didn't bring it up. They did. So
I sure did.
my wife just walked by me and rolled her eyes because I talk about Quiznos.
She's like, we can hear you through the door. We can hear you yelling about Quiznos through the door again, David.
Again. Just recorded already. So then, so the market, and I wrapped Jared up into the marketing. So I think marketing was the number one thing that cost them because their commercials were atrocious. They probably had the worst ad campaign I have ever seen for any franchise of that level.
Yeah.
Because we would say, I was a store manager of a Quiznos, so I would get.
Okay, the plot really thickens here.
I was very close to buying a franchise.
You were on the inside. You were on the inside
Skin
of it.
in the game.
Now I see why you're so defensive.
I flew to Denver. They flew me out. No, they didn't. But for a second though, you were like, God damn, you went to.
Yeah, you went there.
So no wonder he's ride or die for Quiznos. But it was, the commercials were awful. Can either of you remember a commercial from Quiznos?
No.
For Quiznos? Nah, dude.
No.
Exactly. I didn't even know they had them.
Exactly. The only one that is worth remembering, and by worth remembering, I mean it was so awful that you would refer back to it if you had seen it and you were at a party and you want to see something fucked up, and then you would show this commercial to people. there was these two.
What? Sorry, wait a second. What? You would show this people to show something fucked up at a party, like you're like gonna put something on, and it's just some guy shooting a dog in the head, and it's like Quiznos sandwiches, everybody.
Shooting a dog in the head.
They're toasted. The commercial was a guy walking down the street. He sees a trash can. He goes to throw something away. There's two anamorphic rats in the garbage can. There's a Quiznos sandwich sitting at the top of the trash can. The guy picks up picks up the sandwich and starts eating it. And they're saying this sandwich is so good you would eat it out of the trash.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's
not doing any
super
favors.
close to a guy shooting a dog.
Shooting himself in the head.
Oh my gosh.
Let me take that back. I wouldn't say you want to see something fucked up. If I saw someone super high and they were stuck on the couch, that would probably be a video to show them just to see what the reaction was.
Oh, sure. Mm-hmm.
Well, it sounds like a great podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to interview. I talked to the guy. I was like, I want to do a podcast. Would you be okay if I interviewed you and talked to you about it? He's like, oh yeah, I'm pissed.
I had literally a work open to fucking close at a quiz. Sell the goddamn Quiznos, dude. You work, just sell the Quiznos.
Tap out, my guy. Tap out.
I probably should have got his info because he was trying to sell it. Like he was like,
Of course he is.
Yeah, these guys are going to get harder and harder to track down. They're going to disappear.
Yeah.
You know, like
I'm gonna have to go to Denver because that's
it's like trying to find a World War II veteran now. You know.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah. That's not how it was.
I'm very excited to do that podcast because I think it's a lot of people are like, what happened to Quiznos? Because as soon as I talk about it, no one's like, yeah, I don't care. They usually have.
Yeah. You definitely get a cold breeze down your back when you go Quiznos.
There's something nefarious afoot.
You
remember Quiznos? I remember Quiznos.
Shut up, get inside. They're outside.
Bill, the best sandwich I've ever had as far as franchises go. Like I've never had it. Jersey Mike's, Jersey John, or was that Jimmy John's? Big Kahuna Deli, or Beach Hut Deli.
Substation 2?
Mr. Pickles. What is it?
Substation 2. That's an East Coast thing.
Oh, it's an East Coast one. Yeah, no, I haven't gone to the East Coast and tried those yet.
Well, they're gone too.
Oh, sorry.
They've all been crushed by Subway. Mm.
But I digress.
We have to ask our final 3 questions. I guess one day. I mean, I'm going to listen to Quiznos. What happened?
What happened?
Uh-huh.
I'll listen to it for sure.
Yeah.
30 for 30.
But David, we always try to end the podcast with at least with these 3 questions to make sure we got everything. The first one is regarding your worst job, which I guess I'll say Albertsons.
Yeah, we'll go back.
When were you done and how did you quit? Was it because of that the head bumpy incident, or was there something else that you were like, nah, this is it?
Well, the head bumping was probably the catalyst that started. I'm like, yeah, I don't think this is for me. And then also at the same time, I was still in high school and I was just meeting who would be like my first love. Like we were like in the courtship part of it, like kind of just, hey, like, do you want to hang out? Oh, so at the same time I was working at Albertsons. So they obviously would cock block and I wouldn't be able to go hang out with her because I had to work.
Sure.
So I would call in sick and not go to work to hang out with her. Mm-hmm. And so within my 90 days, I called in sick probably 3 or 4 times. And then the straw was, the final straw was for them was there was a football game and there was multiple people that went to the same high school that worked there. And they told us, if you call in sick for this football game, you'll either be written up or suspended.
Right.
And so I hadn't been there long enough for either of those things to affect me, I guess, because they would just let me go.
Sure.
And so she told me, she's like, yeah, I'm going to go to the game if you want to hang out. Like, I think it'd be really fun. Blah, blah. And I was like, I don't know. I had to work. So I had a heart-to-heart with myself, and I was like, do I plan on being at Albertsons for the rest of my life? Probably not.
Nope.
So I called in, and they're like, are you sure you're not going to that game? And I was like, I don't feel good. I don't want to go to a football game.
Yeah.
And so I ended up going to the game. It was one of the better nights of my life. And like, that butterfly night where your girl, like, you're like, oh my God, like this is like the one, like for now, like not one for now. I don't want to say that.
This is going to work forever.
Right. Like this. Yeah. And we ended up going out for 2 years. I almost proposed to her at a prom. Like it was just like this whole shoot. Yeah. So I think I made the right choice, but I didn't quit. They called me into the office, and I hadn't kept track of the days. It was the Monday after that football game. And so they brought me into the office, and they told me, you know what, David, you know, your 90 days are up, and we've decided it's just not a good fit. You know, it's just not they like white woman fired me. They just kind of like, it's not really.
They could have just left you off the schedule like a normal fucking part-time
like a
job.
normal person. And I would have been like, cool, I'm out. But then my favorite part was, I kind of did the half-baked thing, except I didn't do the fuck you thing. I've always wanted to talk into the microphone, like grocery. So I was like, I'm David Lew and I'm out. So I got to do that.
All right.
I didn't want to say fuck you, Denny. I'm not that guy. Like I don't.
Sure. Yeah.
I feel uncomfortable cursing on your.
You don't want Larry and Produce to think that it was because of him.
Yeah.
Think any less of me. Yeah, I don't want them to think. And so that's not that great of a. Yeah, it worked out because that girl was like everything for like 2 years of my life. So worked out.
Good decision. Okay, question number 2 is, what's one good thing you took from that very bad job? Could be this gal.
That had to be it. Like, there's no other thing that would be good from that. Well, I know how to bag food now pretty well. Like my wife's pretty impressed with my organization skills when I put cold with the cold, frozen with the frozen, the perishable, the eggs on top, put the 12 packs on the bottom.
It sounds to me like regular bags, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's,
There's a dark one.
I put my own stuff in bags too, but I do think you're right. Again, you got a good relationship and a rapid sense of bagging. All right, well then, question number 3, bigger picture is, we've had a lot of, I guess we could say creative aspirations put on hold since COVID started. Everything's been kind of on pause. Like, what happens if things aren't really unpaused enough, for you? Or have you been, obviously you're thinking about a Quiznos What Happened podcast, but what do you think, what are you thinking about as far as all that goes?
Well, I'm thinking long term, so obviously that podcast, this is as far as residuals and just money and
11 seasons.
This is my daughter.
11
seasons of What Happened to Quiznos.
24 episodes each season. Hour-long episodes each. No commercial breaks.
Sitcom contract.
If I could, I would. If I had enough. If someone said for 11, we will give you enough content for that, I'm like, this is my life. What have I been thinking about? Well, obviously, like you said, things are on pause. Like we're in these weird times. So all my ways of making income involve people and obviously you guys, like, it involved either the independent, especially in the inspirational talks, because that pays way more than comedy. And so people aren't getting together with cancer in big groups right now. They're not this survivor group could be called something else very quickly in a couple weeks. And so I've been thinking about how to pivot through that. I refuse to do Zoom shows. I don't do those. Props to those people that are doing them. It doesn't feel the same.
Not for you.
I tried one and it just felt weird. And so I actually got my degree. So while in quarantine, like, I'm taking my last class right now. So I went back to school, film and media studies.
Okay, got it.
At Arizona State University. So obviously online, not going.
Of course.
Because of quarantine. But as far as career, like, yeah, I've been thinking about income, like trying to bring in money, because I don't bring in money anymore. Like, there's nothing, zero, zilch, nada. So I found a website called, this sounds like a promo. So I found a website called outschool.com. And so I just applied to teach online them. And you don't necessarily need a degree.
Right.
If you have an interest in something. So there's people there that teach stand-up. If you guys want to have a good chuckle and see who teaches stand-up comedy to children. Spoiler, you've never heard of them.
What?
Yeah. You know. Earthquake's not teaching anyone how to riff on there. So I'm looking at teaching and just like teaching film appreciation, beginning screenwriting, stuff like that to kids. I don't know. A lot of door dashing, I feel like is, I don't know. Do you guys think people are going to go back? People are stoked to go back to shit? Or do you
I think personally, like, I don't think anyone's offering any real solutions outside of like just kind of quietly hoping everyone wants to pass the buck down. And just goes, well, you do what you have to do to protect you. So eventually people are just going to do that. And then you're going to have a million different fucking ways that people have taken care of themselves or rebuilt their own lives and this, that, and the other. And then in 10 years, everyone will have claimed victory to be like, well, what we did was we set people, blah, 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 blah. And then there'll be whatever that new normal is, will just be what you figured out along the way. I don't think there's going to be another sweep of an answer.
Well, David, where can people find you on the internet if you want to be found?
I'm the only David Lew, Lew, really, when you search for me. So
anywhere.
It's the Lew, though.
You gotta get that right.
You got to be careful because David Lewis just fucks my searches up. Because whoever the fuck David Lewis is, I am easy to find, but then also if you go on Instagram and type in David Lew, sometime I've done this at shows. Like, I'm like, can I see your phone so I can, and I'll look at Instagram. I'll type in my name. They don't know me. I'm not on their phone.
Yeah.
I'm either at the top or it's a bunch of David Lewis's, and then you got to get to me down there.
Right. Well, we'll link it in the show notes.
Yeah. No, it's so David Lew, my website, which I actually use. It's not a dormant comedian's website that they started and then just left it. It's because I'm married and my wife makes me be productive. So it's davidlew.net. Until this shit goes back to normal, I'm doing trivia shows every 2 weeks online. They're live streamed on YouTube and Facebook. It's called Trivia Hour with David Lew. And so it's all pop culture stuff. It's free to play for now until it's cost me money to do it. And we give away cash prizes. So people win money and they don't have to, pay to play. So it's pretty fun. And it's live streamed so you can watch it. And also I do a podcast called Be the Pop Podcast that we're backlogging episodes right now, and it's all about positivity. And
well, David, you're the best, man. Thank you for making some time for us. I really appreciate it. I know you're a busy guy.
No, thank you guys for having me. It's been awesome.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review, why don't you? If you want to watch the show on YouTube, you go to YouTube and you search FCK This Place Podcast. FCK This Place Podcast. We're there, hanging out in a visual situation. So, come on down. Okay, that's it. Bye for now. Fuck this place.